Now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Friday show, February 16, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox Local app. If you're watching on YouTube, we say hello. Part of the 62,000 people that have subscribed to Woodward Sports on that platform. Hit subscribe. Hit the like button. Look, did I destroy the place or something like that? I'm back, so Braylon's out on the big desk. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you.
Hey, Ryan, welcome back.
How you doing, buddy?
It's good to have you, man.
Yeah, feeling a little bit better. I'll tell you, man, there is stuff going around like you wouldn't
That's
believe.
what I hear. That's what I hear. My wife tells me half her school is sick, so it's out there, man.
And there's no there's no anything.
Right. They just say it's viral.
Yeah, that's what.
Right.
So I go to urgent care a couple of days ago. I mean, my throat hurts like you wouldn't believe.
Drink your water.
I had a high fever the night before. Took like 800 milligrams of Motrin.
Oh, yeah.
Breaks the fever.
Got
Whatever. I go in. I don't have a fever the next day. My throat is killing me. Chills, body ache. I go into the urgent care. You know, they do the COVID, they do the flu, they do the strep. I'm thinking it's something.
Right.
No, viral. I said, viral? You can't do anything for that. No. They don't do anything.
No Z-Pack, no nothing.
They gave me a steroid.
Oh, the old steroid.
Like not a shot, but like a shot that you drink.
Okay.
I've never had that before.
No, I usually take a pill, prednisone.
It's a steroid pack.
Right.
But she said, do you want a steroid shot with a needle? Or do you want a steroid shot?
Oh, I know what you're picking.
Same efficacy, she said. And I said, well, obviously the drink.
Yeah. Did you do it right there?
Yeah, I did it right there. Right in the room.
Nice.
And they gave me an apple juice chaser.
Oh, I love that. Did you have a choice of apple juice or grape juice?
No, they walked in with the shot of the steroid, liquid.
And a chaser.
And apple juice chaser.
I like it.
I'll tell you, though, like there's pills for everything.
Yeah.
There is no pill for viral.
There isn't. When they don't know what it is, it's viral.
There is a vaccine for everything.
Correct.
You get a viral infection, there's nothing.
Now,
you get a cold, nothing.
Did you take a flu shot this year?
No.
Okay.
I haven't had a flu shot in a couple of years.
Okay, so that's probably not it.
But I didn't get tested. I got tested for flu, and it was a negative flu.
Yeah.
So what would the flu shot have done for me against a viral infection?
Half the time when you get the flu shot, it's a different flu that hits you anyway.
Every time I get the flu shot, you know what I'm going to say? I get the flu.
Correct.
I don't get the flu shot. I don't get the flu.
Well, you got something.
I got something. I got viral. That is...
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah,
man.
feeling a little bit better, no doubt. Tom Mazaway, big weekend for you this weekend. It is your birthday.
It is.
How do you feel about... What are you, 62 now?
I'll be 62 on Sunday.
I remember when you were 60, like it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
2 years have gone by.
That is quick.
2 years have gone by very quickly.
My wife she did a great job for my 50th. It was a great surprise. I didn't know where I was going. She's like, pack your bag. And
for your 50th?
For my 50th. And she took me to this island, and all of a sudden all my family starts popping out from everywhere. And it was a phenomenal time. And for my 60th, she kept surprising me. Every other day or night we'd go out to dinner, and it would be a couple of different people here, a couple of different people here.
No kidding.
It was just really great. And now 62, honestly, the number means absolutely nothing to me.
No.
I can't realize when I was a kid and I looked at a 62-year-old guy, I'd be like, man, he's old.
But
62, but I don't feel that number.
Well, 62 is like the new 52. I feel like everybody's 10 years younger than they are kind of when we grew up.
You're probably right, yeah.
If you think about it, just in terms of visuals, okay, I'm going to give you two visuals. Okay, the Golden Girls.
Yep.
Kind of the same age as the girls in Sex and the City.
No.
A little bit.
Wow.
So think about that variation of what
Yeah.
You thought an older woman looked like when we were growing up.
I realized that back in the day, a 60-year-old.
And now what an older woman looks like.
A 60-year-old looked like an 80-year-old back in the day.
Sparky Anderson looked like he was 80 when he was 40.
Exactly.
So age is just a number, I'm sure.
It is.
And it's not like...
I'd rather be your age, though.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's not to put anybody's business, but nobody retires at 62 anymore, right?
Well, some do. I can't.
I don't think anybody does.
I'll be working till I'm dead.
But maybe 65, 67, maybe. But I think a lot of people are working into their 70s these days because life is so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Life is so expensive. Everything costs more.
I've labeled the last few weeks. I'm trying to get my bills together, and I have listed what Kathy and me bring in, and what Kathy, me, and the family spend. And it's not a pretty picture.
That's a great thing to do. You should do that twice a year.
It's not a pretty picture.
You should really do it every 6 months.
And I got it all listed, and I'm looking, and I'm like, man, wow, we spent this on that. We spent this on that. Meanwhile, my wife's booking trips to Florida. Oh, it's only $360. Oh, it's only like a $290. Oh, I'm like, all right. I don't say no. That's my problem.
Right.
I just don't say no, and I've got to start learning to say no. You can't do it. Girls, you're not going on spring break every year. And if you do, you better work hard and save your money for it. And schools are out of hand, man. That's all I got to tell you.
What a racket that schooling is, isn't it?
It is a racket. Dad, my dues are due. Your dues. Yeah. Meanwhile, I paid for the school, and now I got to pay for her to stay in the sorority, and then her sorority dues. I'm like, I'm sorry. You're at least paying half of your sorority stuff.
And then you walk out with a $25,000-$30,000 job.
I do. Isn't that something? And people
you got $100,000 worth of debt.
People
Here's
wonder
your
why
entry level job.
Maz, why are you working 3-4 places? That's why. That's why.
Oh, it's so good, guys. It's so good.
Meanwhile, you got Pete living alone, eating fish sticks. He's all right.
Yeah, and baby.
He's probably got more money than all of us.
He does. There's no question he's got more than me. No question. JB, you're probably eating fish sticks too. Tonight is a Fish Friday, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm just eating sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
You ate meat.
You ate meat, didn't you?
Oh, I just had a chicken rancher.
I didn't see that.
Oh, the lightning's
you were looking
coming.
right at me.
I know, but I was on the phone. I wasn't paying attention.
You were looking right at me.
I stopped at McDonald's on my way here from my other job, and I grabbed the filet of fish sandwich.
Oh, my God. I ate the chicken today.
The lightning's coming, dude.
Oh, my God.
You'll be okay. God will forgive you.
Wow.
Did you get ashes the other night, or you too
I didn't
sick?
get ashes. I was laid up in the bed.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
You're all done.
Yeah.
You're all done.
I'm screwed.
Fish fillet sandwich combo meal, $9.
By the way, I listened in
$9
yesterday a little bit to Terry Foster was up here, the great T. Foster.
Talking church.
You guys were talking about white church versus black church.
Yeah.
That was a good conversation.
Yeah, it was.
That was a really good conversation.
It made me really appreciate going to St. Joan of Arc Church in St. Clair Shores.
Well, one of the things about have you ever been to Arabic church?
Oh yeah. They're long.
That's a day.
They're long.
That's a day. You go to the service, and then you go into the basement for like the dinner at like 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Yep. No question.
Oh my gosh.
Where did you go? St. Sharbles?
St. George's, I
St.
believe.
George's.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Anyway.
Unbelievable.
You're all caught up, guys.
Happy birthday to you,
buddy.
Tom Mazaway. Sunday's a big day for you. We're very lucky to have you here.
Thanks, bro.
Pete Spivak, JB is with us as well. Braylon will be back Monday. Phil did great leading the show, I thought, too.
Oh, yeah. Terrific.
I mean, who needs me when you have him?
Who needs you? I need you.
I don't know about that.
I need you.
But hey, so apparently I come back. The whole system's blown out.
I know. We can't show you anything. We can't.
Actually, I got some. I have some stuff
do?
Loaded. Yes. What would you like to start with?
Well, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I don't know where I want to start because
I want to do Caitlin Clark, and I want to do baseball uniforms.
I understand. I was just kind of playing around.
Yes,
it was a little bit of a entertainment value of the show.
Okay,
I do have a plan.
All right.
You think you're working with a rookie?
Hey, man.
I do have a plan in my head.
I'm just here, man.
Yeah. But at the same time, So what happened to our computer system while I was gone?
You got me, man. You
Pete,
got me.
what happened to our computer system when I was gone?
What happened was that we had a major malfunction, a meltdown. It took not only the priority files, but it took the backup files with it too. So I'll probably be here this weekend rebuilding the show from scratch.
Well, we
baby.
really appreciate you for doing that, Pete Spivak.
You got it, brother.
In the meantime, let's start with that. Now, in my partner, Braylon Edwards, 2 years ago, he kept bringing up this Caitlin Clark person.
Yes.
This women's basketball player from Iowa. Hey, man, do you see Caitlin Clark? Hey, man, you got to watch this Caitlin Clark. She can shoot from everywhere on the floor. Hey, man, I said, Braylon, I said, I do value our listenership, our viewership. And we're not talking about women's college basketball. Just not doing it. Like, it's just, like the ratings go in the tank. And he's like, I'm telling you, lo and behold, 2 years later, Caitlin Clark is must-see TV.
She is spectacular.
Caitlin Clark is everywhere, not only on ESPN Plus. I mean, we're talking Big Fox, like the Fox.
Yes. The
CBS.
Yep. The NBC.
Every
Peacock.
single broadcast company in the world wants to broadcast Caitlin Clark's games. She's completely changed the way I think most of us view college basketball, women's college basketball. She is the Steph Curry. Maybe, I don't want to call her the Michael Jordan of, but she's kind of like
she's Steph Curry.
She plays like Steph, but she's doing for women's college basketball what Michael Jordan did for the NBA.
Good call.
Essentially.
Good call.
And now, I've never seen anything like it.
No, she's fabulous.
Steph Curry doesn't even play like that.
Well, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. But she did break the women's scoring record, and now she is
Nobody even cares about the scoring record,
She's number
really.
3 on the all-time basketball. That's behind Pete Maravich.
She's going to catch Pistol Pete.
Oh, yeah. She could get him. And then last year was Antoine Davis.
Antoine Davis from UAD.
Antoine Davis, UAD, who just fell short of Pete Maravich. She's right on his tail now. And that's overall scoring. And she has another year to go if she wants to stay.
She won't, though. This is her 4th year, correct?
Yes, she's got to go. She's got to go. The WNBA needs her. The WNBA, man, is trending up. It really is trending up. And she gets the record, of course, on a 3-point shot, which should have been a 4-point shot, just inside the Hawkeye logo.
Where does she get that range? I've never seen. I mean, obviously,
she just comes in,
Steph Curry shoots from there, but she just chucks.
Yeah, she and nothing but net. Nothing but net.
She could be the single most important women's team sport athlete in the history of female athletics. Talking team sports.
I can't think of anyone else.
I mean,
I know the U.S. Soccer team back in the day, Brandy Chastain and those girls, they were good. But,
right.
But I think this one kills it.
Now, obviously, when you talk about Olympians and gymnasts and individual sport female athletes,
Katie Ledecky swimming,
Simone Biles,
gymnastics,
Venus
obviously.
Williams, Serena Williams,
absolutely.
obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about when it comes to team sports. Basketball, softball, hockey. This is
she's on top.
The Mount Rushmore numero uno person.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. It's
No
a
doubt.
pleasure to watch her, and I'd pay to go watch her. I mean that. I would pay.
Hey,
I'd
Pete,
buy
you
a
might
ticket.
get me off the screen when
sorry.
I'm not talking.
I'm used to the hot
Thanks.
number. Sorry, I'm also
sorry.
trying to fix the
keep it
show.
on-
Right.
Just keep it on the 2
Please.
shot. So
Just
you
try
can
to
fall
fix the
asleep.
show.
Uncomfortable.
Put it on the 2 shot and fall
It's
asleep.
so uncomfortable.
Okay? All right, and nonetheless,
He's like, I got you all day this
trying
week.
to fix
All
the
day,
show.
I got
I'm
you,
trying
guys.
my
I got
best.
you. I said, please, just whatever you do, just please,
Now-
make sure I'm not on camera when I'm not on.
now he left it
anymore.
on me for a couple of days. There you go. Now he left
I
it.
got you all day today.
Just put
I
it
got
on. Let's
you.
put it on the Maz chair at least.
What do you think about
I don't
that,
have the
though,
Maz
Matt,
chair.
when it comes to women's?
No, you hit it on the head.
Yeah.
There's nobody that even comes near on a team sport to her.
Jenny Finch, maybe, but it fizzled.
She was good. Yeah.
If you'd like to get in on this conversation and just how you feel about Caitlin Clark, because I'm still trying to process what people not think of her, but think of that story. The story. 313-552-6322. We're going to try to take calls here each and every day here moving forward. 313-552-6322. If you'd like to get in, just give us a call and
We'll talk anything with you.
Yeah, we'll talk anything with you. But I really want to see what people think about this Caitlin Clark, because will you be more prone to watch women's basketball or just games that she's involved in?
Just games that she's involved in.
For me, that's right now.
For the most part. But I do watch the Women's Final Four. I do watch it. I've watched it for years. And I'll continue to watch it. And if there's a good matchup that's before the Final Four that they're telling me about, that I know about, I'll probably tune into that for a little bit. But I'm definitely tuning in Caitlin Clark. My mother-in-law calls me last night at bowling. Tommy, how do I download this Peacock? Because my mother-in-law loves college basketball. And she didn't listen to me when we put in her Xfinity last week. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Mom, get Peacock now. Oh, I don't know, $5 extra. And then all week this week she's bothering me to get it. And now it takes extra time to get it because I have to talk her through it. She's 81 years old. I got to try to talk her through it.
Right.
I'm like, just go to my house and watch it there. I mean, but a lot of people are downloading Peacock. Remember they did it for the Chiefs game? And they probably did it last night. I bet you a lot of people downloaded Peacock last night.
You know,
by the way, they played Michigan.
Yeah, sadly, outside of Sue Bird, and I think Sue Bird retired, I probably could name you one WNBA player.
Honestly?
Sadly, do you?
Oh, yeah, I can give you a few.
Who?
Sabrina Ionescu is one. Well, Lisa Leslie used to be one.
Well, I can name Lisa Leslie and Dawn Staley and...
I said Sabrina Ionescu, and she's going to be in the
maybe
three-point contest against Steph Curry this upcoming weekend.
I'm not talking about the 2003 Detroit Shock with Swin Cash.
Riley, how about Ruth Riley?
Ruth Riley.
And how about Nancy Lieberman-Klein?
Who was Bill?
Reggie Miller's sister?
Carl Malone's daughter.
Reggie.
Remember, she was on the Pistons.
Yes. I forgot what her name was.
That?
I forgot what her name was. But yeah, I can name a few if I really thought about it.
I'll watch my first WNBA game when she's involved.
Okay, buddy. Well, this weekend is the NBA All-Star Weekend. Do you have a tune in for that?
For the 192 to 182 game?
Well, it's East versus West this year again, which
That's
I
good.
like. I like that. Goes back to the roots. I kind of like it. I love All-Star Saturday night for the most part. Love the three-point contest. And I love the dunk contest, although there's only like 4 guys that most people probably really don't know the names very much. But there they are.
You know, it feels like NBA. Oh, Indianapolis gets the game this year.
It's not
Why
far.
does Indy get everything?
Because they're a good sports city.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. They're a better sports city.
It is great.
I don't believe that they're a better sports city than us. I don't understand.
I think it's a better sports city.
Well, you say they get a Super Bowl over us. I don't understand why. A lot of people say Indianapolis is going to get another Super Bowl.
It's a big event city.
So are we.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we are a big event city, too. So, NBA All-Star game tonight.
This weekend.
You don't like the, just to change gears now, the Fanatics is...
oh, my God.
What are they doing with these baseball
First of all,
uniforms?
Fanatics is like taking over sports merchandise. They have bought everything. Everything goes through them now. Whether it's Nike, whether it's Majestic, whoever puts it out, it's going through Fanatics, and it's got a Fanatics tag on it. I know I'm a Fanatics guy. I mean, I order everything from there, but it's not the same. My pullovers from the old days kill the pullovers from today. It's just made poorly. They're cheap. They're always, if I get a 2X, it's like down to my knees.
Yeah.
So I always had to send it back. I always got to send it back. Back in the other day, I used to get an XL from Majestic, and it still fits me, the XLs from Majestic. So what they did to the baseball uniforms, do you have that uniform, Pete?
No.
Okay, good. So they have a Javi Baez that you're going to look at. He's number 28, and Baez on the back in big letters. This year, Baez is like letters like this.
I hate that.
Letters like this. People all over major leagues have said, I've tried these uniforms on. The pants don't fit the same anymore. The jerseys look like crap, and they have lowered all the letters on the name plate. Yankees don't have to worry about that because they don't use names. Every other team mostly uses names, and the names will be a lot smaller this year. And just the way they have made them, it's just cheaply made. and it looks terrible. I wish I could show you a picture.
I wonder why they choose to do that. Like
I don't
somebody
know.
says that's a good idea.
That probably
Is it
saves money.
Is it a cost thing?
It's got to be.
I mean, somebody makes that conscious decision to make the uniforms look worse.
I like to buy jerseys. Still, I know I'm way older than a jersey guy should be, but I like wearing it because of this job that I have. I put it on, and people are like, "Why are you wearing it? Why are you rocking the Twins today, man?" I went to a Twins game. I bought a jersey.
Right, Carlos Correa.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't Correa. It was Berrios.
Oh.
Anyway, nonetheless, I like
Braxton
buying them.
Berrios?
I love.
That's his name, right?
Excuse me?
Braxton Berrios?
No.
What's his name?
Braxton Berrios is a football player.
Oh. I don't
Jose
know.
Berrios is a pitcher.
Berrios.
Jose Berrios is a pitcher. No, he's not with the Twins anymore. I always get players that aren't on the team so I can save money.
Right.
I don't care who I have on the back,
Right.
basically. But I don't buy them anymore because they don't fit right. They're either too big or they go down to your knees. It's crap. Fanatics has ruined the sports apparel business, and they own it. They own everything about it.
Who they buy it from? New Era?
Everybody.
Yeah.
You name it, you're going through there.
You ever?
And if you go on any website, NBA.com, MLB, NFL, guess where it redirects you? To Fanatics.
Guys, I put the link to the picture because I can't download the picture. It's in the
Oh,
chat
good.
for everybody to go to.
buddy. That's
Take a look,
really good.
Take a look at that, guys, and
Really
let me know.
solid.
Let me know what you think of the new uniforms for baseball players. They're horrible. So I'm going to
What do
tell
you
you
think
right
of those
now.
City Connect jerseys for the
Oh,
Tigers?
can't wait for that.
I hate all that stuff.
They're going to wear it
And
a few games.
Look, I don't know about. Not that I'm not a uniform guy. I am a uniform guy, but I hate all these alternate jerseys. Like even the Pistons. Like, the teal is one thing, like the throwback. But the alternate City Connect.
Yeah.
When you
the orange jerseys. Last year they were green.
When you turn on a game and you don't know who's playing because they're in a different jersey, I can't stand that.
I get it.
In football, teams do that a lot. Football players do that a lot.
But you know those teams.
Not really.
From the helmet.
Well, if Tennessee is wearing all black uniforms when they wear wear the orange or the white, then they've got black uniforms. You can't see the numbers. You can't see the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get you.
I mean, there's
I hear you.
a number of schools that do that.
Jeremy's got a phone for us.
Oh, hi, Jeremy.
JB, who you got?
What's up, guys? I got Noah on the line for you guys.
All
You guys
right.
wanna
Hi,
take
Noah.
Hey, Noah, welcome to Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, this is Noah from the back.
Hey, Noah.
Hi, Noah from the back.
I wanted to talk about women's basketball. You guys had a great conversation about Caitlin Clark, and I just think that the way that she is bringing attention to women's basketball right now just reminds me of LeBron James back in high school.
Well, there's no doubt about that. The notoriety she is bringing to team women's sports specifically, and again, I go back to.
But we're watching her.
Huh?
But we're watching her.
I understand.
I'm like, get the ball out of your hands and pass it to Caitlin Clark.
I understand that, but I think what I'm trying to say when it comes to Caitlin Clark is you're watching a team sport.
Yes.
You're not watching Simone Biles at the Olympics. You're not watching Serena Williams at a tennis match. You're watching Iowa because she's on the team. It's a pretty unique situation. Noah, is it your thought that she is the most significant team sport athlete in female sports history?
At this moment in time, I would say at least in the past 2 decades,
Wow.
at the very least. I think Sue Bird had a significant impact on women's basketball. But the fact that you're going with the team sports, I mean, this is doing leaps and bounds for everything. I spent all throughout college reporting on all of Central Michigan's women's athletics and team sports. And just seeing the effort that they put in is just as equal as the men put in. And I just think that it's really good to see a young female athlete as popular as Caitlin Clark getting notoriety, because it's only going to want young girls everywhere to just go out and follow their dream, unlike it was maybe 20 years ago.
So are you going to tune in more often now?
Oh yeah, I've been tuning in.
But what if Caitlin Clark is not involved in the game? Are you watching a WNBA game or a women's college basketball game?
I'll watch women's college basketball every once in a while. I don't know what time the WNBA is on. Honestly, I'm just not watching a lot of WNBA or NBA this season. But college basketball all day.
But again, and thanks so much, Noah. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Noah.
it,
Great
buddy.
job, by the way.
But I think that's the point in all this too. So you're not watching the WNBA now,
Right.
You know,
But he's not watching the NBA
But
either.
listen, a guy like me is not watching college basketball of any sort right now, men or women.
Yeah.
But I'm more apt to turn on Caitlin Clark Iowa game, and if you were having a good experience watching that game, you know what you're going to do the next time? You're going to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the hope is with Caitlin Clark in the WNBA when she gets there too. Hey, Caitlin Clark might be the vessel that draws your eyeballs to that game.
Yeah.
But once you get on the game, maybe that gives you enough enjoyment or satisfaction watching a athletic event that you'll come back and watch another one. And then you watch another one. And then maybe you bring your daughter to a game. Hell, maybe you bring your son to a game.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're having a good time.
Well, listen, God rest his soul. If Kobe Bryant was still around and his daughter Gianna was still around, I think it would even be more impactful because he was really pushing for it. And people follow what Kobe Bryant wanted to do. And what Kobe Bryant did, they'd follow if LeBron James was involved in it as well. It's just the way it is. But this girl stands on her own. And it's just must-see TV. If she's playing, I always write my family, hey, Caitlin Clark's on tonight. And my daughter's, oh, great, thanks, Dad. They'll tune in and watch it. So it's great. It's great for sports. And last night's a Thursday night. What else are you going to watch there at 8 o'clock? I want to see her break the record. And she breaks it from the logo. I wish I could show you the play. I'm sure you guys have seen it 100 times. I'm sure you've heard her on the podium when she said, what do you think I was going to break it? You think I was going to take a layup? She's like, I was shooting it from the logo.
Oh, my God.
She said it. I mean, she's terrific. And if you remember last year, her against Angel Reese, if you remember.
Here's the play.
Clark. How will she go for history? There it is! The all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball.
And she's number 3 overall right now, chasing Antoine Davis and the great pistol Pete Maravich.
Easy in the chat brought up Angel Reese's name.
Yeah, Angel Reese, if you congratulated her.
Isn't that exactly what the WNBA needs?
Oh, her against her? Magic against Bird?
Magic against Bird.
Yeah.
Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that what that league needs?
Hell yeah.
I think that would be phenomenal.
I think it'll happen.
Yeah, I think it'll happen. I think it'll be great for the WNBA. It'll be great for women's athletics. Guys, we're going to take a break. 11 ESPN experts predicted the Super Bowl next season. How many of them have the Lions in the Super Bowl? You might be surprised. But first, a message from WSN here at Woodward Sports. We invite... Sorry, guys, working on my voice here a little bit. We invite all of you to head over to woodwardsports.com, click on the shop tab, and you'll have hats, hoodies, tees, new Detroit sports wearables that are comfortable, affordable, and everything in between. Anything you want right there, woodwardsports.com, click on the shop tab.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Hey, Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Now, you get all of this with no commitment for only $10 a month. Now, don't remember, there is always a Planet Fitness nearby with more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Find your local Planet Fitness today, or as always, you can check them out online at planetfitness.com.
And let me tell you about Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, the Barada family has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you got to do is visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue for grab-and-go steaks. If you can't make it in person, you can always order online, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com.
I don't know if you can really script it any better, and I thought we played really well tonight, and that our defense could have been a little better, but just to do it in this fashion, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful to be surrounded by so many people that have kind of been my foundation and everything that I've done since I was a young little girl. And I started crying watching that video just because, like, I'm just filled with so much gratitude and love, and the way these fans support women's basketball is so special. And yeah, I mean, you all knew I was going to shoot a logo 3 for the record. Come on now.
Great stuff. And that was Caitlin Clark, courtesy of CBS Sports. Last night she breaks the record. 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322 if you want to call the show. We will take your calls. We're going to try to start doing that from time to time. And I apologize in advance for my voice, guys.
Just take it easy.
Yeah, I'm not as animated as I normally have. I'm trying to protect my voice a little bit.
Protect it.
It's been a rough go for the last couple of days.
Want me to get you some tea?
Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll order you a tea.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
You got it.
From Birmingham Roast,
I got a gift card.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Oh, good.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome, Maz. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks,
and
man.
I didn't even ask you about bowling night last night.
Oh.
You got any turkeys?
I did. I got quite a few.
Any
we won.
4-baggers?
I had a 4-bagger, a couple 4-baggers. Shot 201, 202, and a 234. So not bad. About a 230, 240, 640 series, roughly. My buddy, Tom Major, who was here, he came to visit us that one time when Eric Kramer was in town. Remember Tom, when he came to see me? He shot a 747 3-game series.
That's ridiculous.
Including a 279 game. Should have had a 300.
Wow.
He left 1 7-pin, made the spare, and 11 strikes. I mean, it's pretty damn good.
Wow.
Pretty damn good.
That is incredible
Hats
stuff.
Off.
Hats off. Hats off.
Good job, Tommy.
I wanted to get to this because ESPN had 11 of their experts predict the Super Bowl for next season, and the Detroit Lions got a lot of love. They were tied for the most amount of experts projecting them to be in the Super Bowl next year.
NFL Network did roughly the same.
So of the 11 ESPN experts predicting next season's Super Bowl, 5 of them had them in the Super Bowl. 5 of the 11 had them in the Super Bowl.
Nice.
2 had them winning the Super Bowl.
Was Lou Riddick on there, on that panel? He was our guy this year, right? Lou Riddick rode it to the end.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He was probably the best Lions fan all year. And Ari Mayroff, but he's not on ESPN, of course.
The other, here, let me see if he is not on here.
Okay.
So we
could definitely add him in then.
Yeah, well, they can. Yeah, what they have is Matt Bowen, Mike Clay, Jeremy Fowler, Dan Graziano, Matt Miller, Eric Moody, Jordan Reed, Mike Tannenbaum, who has the Lions winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Lindsey Theory, Seth Walder, and Field Yates. Those are your 11 experts.
Those are good.
5 of the experts had the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So Detroit and Kansas City were the 2 leaders in the clubhouse
Any Cleveland Browns?
No Cleveland Browns. So here's the deal, Maz. And if anybody wants to weigh in on this, 313-552-6322. So in the NFC, 5 of the 11 have the Lions in the Super Bowl. Which team do you believe do these experts is behind the Lions for the odds to get to the Super Bowl next year?
49ers.
Wrong.
Not the Packers?
The Green Bay Packers. 3 of the 11 have the Packers in the Super Bowl next year.
Ooh.
2 have the Rams in the Super Bowl, and only 1 have the San Francisco 49ers repeating as NFC champs and into the Super Bowl. And I think there's a lot of turmoil in San Francisco right now. I do not like the fact that Kyle Shanahan blew out Steve Wilkes.
Not many people
Nobody
like
did.
it. Not many people like it.
That was
he kind of threw him under the bus.
They held Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl 6 straight possessions of 0 points.
Yeah. Playing without their best defensive guy and Drake Greenlaw.
Drake Greenlaw, under 20 points in 4 quarters. And you're going to blow that guy out for what? And not only that, but he did hold the Lions to garbage points in the second half.
7 points.
In the conference championship game. So that aside, I don't think that's going to be a win at all for the 49ers. I think
they're saying Brandon Staley might get that gig.
Yeah, I think San Francisco might be in for a little bit of a downturn. I
hope so.
But Green Bay, that's a team you've been high on for a long time, Maz. So the fact that so many of these experts have Green Bay in the Super Bowl next year, I think that's pretty significant.
Listen, man, what did I write you the night the 49ers and Packers were playing? I wrote, Ryan, the game I'm watching, this is when the Packers were leading. I'm like, the game I'm watching, if this Packer team finishes this game and comes to Ford Field and the Lions do their job the following day against Tampa, which I thought they would, I said that game would be a pick'em. Green Bay and the Lions would have been a pick'em. Green Bay came in here on Thanksgiving and beat the Lions down big time. Lions scored late to make it look better, but we all know Thanksgiving Day the Packers took it to us. Yeah, we beat them early in the season, but this is a team that got rolling late in the season. They believe in Jordan Love. I believe in Jordan Love. I think he's going to be a terrific quarterback. Aaron Jones, for the first time, was healthy all year. And when he's healthy, he's one of the top 5 running backs in the game. Those 3 wide receivers they have, all young wide receivers. Offensive line was beat up. Bakhtiari was out for the year. They got beat up. This guy, Matt LaFleur, they finally got to use the offense he always wanted to use. When Aaron Rodgers was there, Aaron Rodgers did it his way. It kind of freed up Matt LaFleur to be himself and to have a young team. They're the youngest team in the league. And they have I think 5 to 7 picks in the first 150 coming up here in the draft. We'll talk to Russel Brown, our friend, at about 3 o'clock today, or about half an hour from now. We'll talk about that. But the Packers are in great shape, and they're going to be on the Lions' tail. I still think the Lions are the better team, but that's going to be a rivalry going forward that it's going to be a tough out either way.
And, that's one of the points, too, about, like, the division and the home playoff game and everything like that, because you could win 12 games next year. Hell, you could win 13 games next year and not have a home playoff game, depending upon what you do against Green Bay. If Green Bay wins 12 or 13 games, maybe they win the tiebreaker.
If you finish second, you're a wild card.
That's why each year is so unique to its own year. The only year that you're playing in is the one that matters, not projecting forward or anything like that. I just think that this division is going to be one of the best in football because of the 2 teams at the top, and that's the Lions and the Packers for the next handful of years at least.
How about the Packers, the way they rebuilt on the run? They rebuilt on the run, just like the Rams did. Give the Rams credit. Yeah, they took 1 year back.
It's Lions at 5.
Yeah.
5 experts. Green Bay at 3. And the Rams have 2 experts that put them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. They have Kyron Williams in the backfield. Puka Nacua on the outside with Cooper Kupp Cooper Kupp is probably be on the inside. Matthew Stafford is still playing good, making a lot of money. If he stays healthy, they're going to be dangerous. They still have Aaron Donald on defense. They got a couple of good defensive backs still. And they got Sean McVay.
You know
so
who you don't
that
see
could
listed?
be their division.
You know who you don't see listed?
The Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles.
There's teams in turmoil, too.
Right. The Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings are kind of retooling.
Absolutely.
You don't know if Kirk Cousins is going back there. And if he don't, who the hell do they get?
Exactly.
Justin Jefferson said, I'm not signing anything till I know who the quarterback
right.
is.
And rightfully so. I wouldn't either.
Now,
right?
yesterday you weren't here. We talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown. They're probably going to extend him 3 years, $75 million on top of that. And I say, sign that contract today.
Right.
Because if Justin Jefferson wants over $30 million, we don't need any of that turmoil. And I know the guy's put up better numbers over the years than Amon-Ra St. Brown, but he's right on his tail, man.
There's not 5 wide receivers in the league I'd rather have than Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's just not 5. I think that guy is so special and so unique to Detroit.
He is a team player.
That's
hands
no doubt,
down.
no doubt about it.
He's not going to complain. He's not going to whine. He's not going to look like Stephon Diggs or Justin Jefferson on the sidelines. He's just going to say, "Put me where you want me. Tape me up and get me on the field."
Right, no doubt. Let me see. My little screen here timed out, JB. So. Here we go.
I think you got it back now.
We got it back now. All right, so let's go to the phone lines if you want to get in. 313-552-6322. And again, I apologize, my voice. I'm doing the best I can
sound
today.
Great. Just talk.
Matthew, you are on Woodward Sports Network. How you doing, Matthew?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, Matt.
All right, cool. Hey, I wanted to get Maz's opinion on something, being from like the New York side and whatnot. And I absolutely agree. We re-sign Amon-Ra St. Brown first thing before anybody else. But
absolutely,
Maz, who do you think has a better career if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy this year in New York? Who does better in New York for the Jets? Brett Favre over his career in New York, or Aaron Rodgers?
Well, definitely Aaron Rodgers. If he can get healthy this year, Matthew, I really believe the Jets missed out last year. They put all their eggs in that basket. He goes down 3 plays into the season. Brett Favre didn't stay long enough to really make a mark, but he stayed good because he goes to Minnesota and takes them, a couple of plays away from the Super Bowl. So Brett Favre was still – he could have been that guy. If he didn't send pictures out on his phone, he probably would have still been a Jet at that point. But instead, they had to move on from him. But I think Aaron Rodgers bounces back this year, and I hope he does well. The Jets need something, man. They're in dire need of something.
Hey, one more quick thing before I get off, and then I'll just hang up. Why isn't anybody talking about Mike Sanderson being drafted in Detroit? Can he answer our cornerback controversy? He was lights out in Michigan. Love you guys. Love Woodward. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks so much, Matthew. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Mike Sanders, so it's your guy, Mikey.
Oh, I love Mikey.
Yeah.
And not only is he a great player, he's a great leader.
Yes.
And whichever of the 32 teams gets Mikey Sanders still in their locker room, not only going to get one heck of a football player, they get one heck of a guy, and I just think the world of him. Yeah, I mean,
he'd be a Lion. He's a Lion type guy.
Yeah, he is. We can ask Russ Brown that. We'll talk to Russel Brown, NFL draft guru, coming up top of the hour in about 15 minutes from now. We'll talk to him about those Michigan players. 18 Michigan guys at the Combine. That is a record. For the NFL Combine to have so many players from one school represented. Going to ask him about J.J. McCarthy. I keep sending the stuff about J.J. McCarthy.
You're right.
And let me say this.
You are right.
Everything that I said, all people want to talk about is Malik Willis. Okay, clown, and that's fine. Look, I've been saying this stuff for.
We were just desperate for what we thought for a quarterback.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
We reached for the life raft.
Find a bad take from 2 years ago. I'm fine with it.
That's fine.
Right, it's totally fine. But beyond that, the reasons that I gave for why I thought J.J. McCarthy would be an upper echelon top flight pick in the NFL draft. I think he would be. Again, I would not be shocked if he's the number 1 pick overall. Like that's Like I wouldn't.
You should put a little bet on that.
No, I think we showed it was like plus 1,000. Like I forget what it was.
Yeah,
it was
probably not enough.
Yeah. J.J.
McCarthy.
Look, he's not gonna go number one. He's not gonna go number one, but he might be he'd be a top 15 pick for sure.
Could be.
But everything about what they're talking about when it comes to J.J. McCarthy is the reasons that I gave. He's got all the tools that you could possibly want. And when you get around the guy, you can't help but gravitate towards him. And the NFL is about leadership, too. You can have the tools, you can have all that, but if you don't have the ability to get people behind you, you just fizzle out, man. And not only that, but he's won big games. Again, show me the big game that Caleb Williams has ever won. There isn't one. Not at Oklahoma.
No, he bounced around.
Not at USC. Every big game he ever played in, and you
might be missing one or two.
Maybe there's one.
Yeah,
but more often than not, every big game he played in, he lost. And
I'd be interested in what Russ is going to talk about on Caleb.
I am too.
But there are a lot of players. A lot of guys still love him. They think he's still a slam dunk. And then you have the Merrill Hodges out there. Merrill Hodges is very rarely wrong when he talks about a particular player. I mean, he doesn't talk a lot, but when you get him rolling, he is right on. And he does not think Caleb Williams will be the guy. He likes Justin Fields better than he likes Caleb Williams. But I don't think the Bears are keeping Fields. I just do not.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I'm going to throw teams out at you. Here's your draft order. The Bears at 1. I'm going to say it right now. They're going to trade with Washington, and Washington is going to get Caleb Williams. He's from D.C. Something's going to happen. The Bears, they're going to take a quarterback. I'll say they take Drake May for all instance. Then you got the Patriots at 3. Now, are they in the process of making a deal with the Bears as well? Because Justin Fields to either Washington or New England would be a nice upgrade for them, right? Without drafting a guy to get Justin Fields. The Cardinals, probably going to stick with Kyler Murray. Chargers, they got their guy. The Giants, well, they have their guy right now. The Titans,
I'd love to see JJ in New York.
It would be great.
I'd
it
love
really
to see
would be
JJ
great.
in New York.
It would be great. Titans got Will Levis. And then the Falcons, they need a quarterback. Name Justin Fields, maybe going to them. You don't know what the heck's going to happen. They're not going to stick with the guys they have. They're just not. Then the Bears pick again. Then the Jets. Do the Jets dare take a quarterback? Do the Jets dare take a quarterback?
I think they will. I think
why not?
Here, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why not. The Jets right now are where the Lions were in the draft, where they took Jeff Okudah instead of Justin Herbert or Tua Tagovailoa.
Correct.
Because the Jets general manager and head coach know that if they don't contend for the Super Bowl next year, that they're both out. So they're not going to draft the quarterback. They're not going to draft a quarterback knowing that quarterback can't help them win the Super Bowl this year. That's what Quinn and Patricia did.
I know.
So you cost your franchise.
But they were idiots too.
Right, but you cost your franchise when you're in a desperate situation.
Correct.
And these owners do that to themselves. These general managers do it to themselves. So instead of picking the best player on your board, you have to pick for need because you have to win right now. And when you're coming down to your first round pick, how many times you're an astute NFL watcher?
Yeah.
Okay? You've been watching the league for a long time. How many times has a team ever made, because I think this Jets first round pick is everything to this team. It's almost like a make or break. They're so desperate for a good player here. Where that one player in the first round has put them over the top. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Well, Dan Marino. Dan Marino catapulted the Dolphins into a nice run.
Okay, let me ask it a better way.
Troy Aikman.
Let me ask it a better way.
Okay.
What player, what non-quarterback player, when a team is close?
Yeah.
You got to, for instance,
Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor.
For instance, like San Francisco 49ers, right? San Francisco 49ers felt like they were close to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And they were. So what did they do?
Trey Lance.
No. They went out and drafted Jake Moody in the third round.
Yeah.
They almost felt like they were one kicker away.
Yeah. Yep.
from winning a Super Bowl. So they took Jake Moody in the third round.
Probably a mistake.
You have players that do. You have teams that do desperate things when you feel you're one player away. And
Jets know they're not one player away.
Am I making any sense to you?
Yes, you are. The Jets are not one player away. But if they get a quarterback, they already know Zach Wilson's not going to be with them. He's going away for like a bag of balls. If they draft a quarterback at number 1 at the 10 spot, he sits behind Aaron Rodgers maybe for 2 years. Anyone that sits behind Aaron Rodgers is going to learn and do
Jordan
well.
Love.
Look at Jordan Love, what he got out of that. No one even thought about Jordan Love because he never got an opportunity to get out there. And now Aaron Rodgers goes away. Everything's away from him, and Jordan Love shows his true colors. After the Jets, Vikings need a quarterback. Broncos need a quarterback. Yeah. Raiders need a quarterback. Saints need a quarterback. 4 teams.
No doubt.
Next 4.
No doubt.
J.J. McCarthy is definitely gone by pick
13,
14.
By 13.
I'll go even 14.
Yeah, I'm going to say J.J. will be gone by 13.
Easy.
And then you've got, trade-ups.
Yeah.
Especially if, let's just say, Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels are gone. Now you're trading up. Because if you believe...
You still got Bo Nix on the board.
But again,
Penix.
These guys know who they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And after the combine, after the interviews, after the workouts, you're going to know which one of those guys you want. And trust me, it's not going to be I'll take whoever I get at this point.
Yeah.
You're going to trade up to get your guy.
Who did I always tell you? What team did I tell you would be the best fit for J.J. McCarthy? Go to pick number 19.
The Rams.
Yeah. The Rams.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford ain't going to be around forever.
And again, they're in a situation too. Well, maybe they would. I don't know.
They're building up still.
Yeah.
And you got 2 guys on the ESPN panel that picking to make a Super Bowl.
Right.
How'd you like that rematch? Rams and Lions again from Ford Field.
I just think when you're so close to achieving a Super Bowl, you should take players that maybe could help you out in the next season. Though. Right.
Do we know who those big players are? There's no one that's sticking out here in this draft that's going to put someone over the top besides a quarterback.
One of the things about the draft situation too, and we're going to talk to Russel Brown about it. Russel Brown coming up in about 10 minutes from now, a little bit less than that. NFL draft analyst for Fantasy Pros and Lions Wire. This is. I'm a mock draft guy.
Yeah.
I'm a mock draft guy.
Are.
I always have been. This is the first year where I couldn't care less about mock drafts.
That's because you had a team.
I barely look at them, and the reason why is not only are the Lions picking near the end of the first round, which we have never seen them pick towards the end of the first round like this in 20
not in the Super Bowl
20 some years.
Correct.
But and this is probably the worst thing you could say as a opinionated radio host or show host or YouTube host or whatever the hell we are. Whoever Brad Holmes takes, I'm fine with. He has,
even if it's an old lineman.
Even if it's an old lineman, he has earned the right, I think, to pick whomever he chooses, and for everybody in Detroit to just be like, okay,
yep. I'm with you.
All right.
I'm with you, but we'll still bitch.
We apologize for the language from my colleague over here. We don't condone that kind of language here on the network. We appreciate it.
That's a bad word?
Yes. Cannot say that, please. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
But I think I'm at the point where whatever he does, fine. And that's probably the worst thing you can do. You got to have a hardcore opinion about this, that, or the other thing.
4 picks in the top 93. That's pretty good. 4 picks out of the top 93 players coming out of college football. I'll take my chances with Brad Holmes on the draft. I just want him to go out and get me a free agent or 2. 2 big names that still have youth on their side and aren't going to break the bank. I know there's guys that are going to break the bank, and it's probably an oxymoron what I'm saying. All free agents want to break the bank. I want 2 guys free agent wise, so then he could do anything he wants in the draft. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and again, I don't see one player on the back end where I'll be like,
yeah, how exciting.
Yeah.
How could you pass on this guy?
How could you pass
for
on
this guy?
Right.
What do we know?
Right.
We don't know anything.
Exactly.
I'm interested to talk to Russ because he was at the Senior Bowl, and the Lions were there a couple of years ago. Remember coaching that game?
It matters.
Yeah, and look at the last 3 drafts that they had. It works.
Right. No doubt. All right, guys, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Russel Brown, talking a little NFL draft. We'll do it next. But first, a message from Tom Mazaway. Momentarily.
Yes, it's coming. I got to change the camera. There we go, buddies.
Hey, my favorite pet shop. It's PremierPetSupply.com. Give your pet the best. Do not settle for less. They are the best pet shop in Michigan. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations. 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Nutritionists to answer all your questions. And, of course, they have curbside delivery to boot. Back your pet right now. Do not settle for less. Give them PremierPetSupply.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. For an award-winning haircut experience, walk into any Lady Jane's. Register to win a trip of your dreams, an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. You can walk in anytime, open 7 days a week. It is wicked awesome.
Oh, yeah.
In the meantime,
I thought you were going to get a haircut today. For your little vacay.
Yeah, no.
Couldn't get in early enough.
This is what it is.
Becca couldn't help you?
No, not today. No, I didn't even ask.
I thought you would definitely get one today.
No.
You're not feeling good.
Right.
Get a little hot lather, neck shave, a massage.
That's what I should have done, Tom.
I thought you should have.
That's what I should have.
Thought you should have.
Hey, as we wait to track down Russel Brown, let me bring this up to you, Maz. Michigan State, just talking about the Lady Jane's promotion here with the NCAA tournament. Michigan State tomorrow night. Did you have any idea?
No, because Michigan don't have a chance.
What a shame.
Michigan doesn't have a chance. They talked to your favorite AD, Ward Manuel, the other day. They said, what about your basketball program? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just here to support Jalen.
Meanwhile, Ohio State's firing their coach.
Yeah, Ohio State fired their coach the same day.
I love it.
That he said Juwan Howard is his guy. I said Jalen, but I meant Juwan Howard.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Caitlin Clark could start for Michigan, I think.
I don't disparage the players. I think these players have had no chance, man. You don't
really. It's true.
You don't know.
That's true.
You don't know who your coach is.
Yep.
Is my coach Juwan Howard? Is my coach Phil Martelli? You know
I know.
What I mean, who are we playing for today?
I know. And is Juwan Howard? Is Jet going to listen to anybody today?
Exactly.
Probably not.
Guys, let's go to the phones and bring in Russel Brown. He is an NFL draft analyst for Fantasy Pros and Lions Wire. You can follow him on X at Russ NFL Draft. How you doing, Russ?
Hey, Russ.
Hey, fellas, how are we?
Doing
man. Good to hear your
fantastic,
voice.
buddy.
Good. Hey, it's good to be back. Good to be talking with you guys. The best time of the year. 69 days from the NFL draft.
That's right.
Oh, my gosh. So, Russell, let me ask you, because I know you were at the Senior Bowl, just maybe 3 quick observations from your time at the Senior Bowl. Maybe somebody that stood out to you, whatever your top 3 observations were from that trip to Mobile.
Well, to start, the quarterbacks were a little bit underwhelming. I know for Lions fans, we're not really paying attention to quarterbacks, but we all know that, the quarterbacks are what everybody wants to talk about when we talk about the draft. But when I watched Michael Penix and Bo Nix going into the event, I figured, hey, these guys, they've had a lot of experience. They played pretty well this year. I have a feeling that these guys are going to maybe step up and have a similar Senior Bowl experience for the media, such as myself and the people that were there, similar to how Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield did a few years back in 2018. And that just was not the case. They were very underwhelming. Neither one of them handled pressure very well. They had, maybe a good red zone series here or there, but they did not attack to the middle of the field. And I felt like Michael Penix, that was an area of need for him. And when we look at the quarterback group, we all know that Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels are the consensus 3 at the top. But J.J. McCarthy, even though he was not at the Senior Bowl, he made himself money because he wasn't there. He didn't have to show that he couldn't do something or do something well or whatever. And while other guys struggled, he was able to kind of sit back, and I think he boosted his draft stock alone just off of that, because you see the game tape and you see what he's been able to do over the course of his career with only 1 loss, and it's just like I expected more from Penix and Nix, and it just wasn't there. Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback out of Toledo, he was kind of the dream scenario player at 29, and that dream is probably gone at this point. I would be surprised if he was there at pick 29. I think there's a chance he's the first corner off the board. And wow. I would really circle in at like Indianapolis at 15. I think he'd be a great fit there. So he did a wonderful job. The way he closed and everything that he did, it was phenomenal stuff. And then just the last piece, Jamari Thrash from Louisville. I think a team that's looking for a potential middle to late day 2 pick, maybe early day 3 pick for a wide receiver that's 5'10", $185, isn't blazing fast. He doesn't have that vertical speed that we like to see out of like a Tyreek Hill, but the pacing of his routes was excellent. I thought he had a very strong week, and he was somebody that really stood out. And then I just got to give a shout out to a local kid out of Southfield, but he went to Canton High School, Darius Robinson out of Missouri. He is absolutely yoked up at 6'5", 285, and there's a lot of buzz surrounding him. And Mel Kiper, I believe, came out yesterday and said there's a chance he's a top 10 or top 15 pick in a couple of months.
Good wow, for him. Incredible stuff there. Hey, Russell, a lot to chew on there. And let me just go back to the quarterbacks, because
I knew you would.
It's a subject near and dear to our hearts, my heart in particular. I can't open up social media and not see somebody that says they spoke with a league executive or a team executive, and people are much higher on J.J. McCarthy in league circles than the public. One NFL executive had him as QB2. Of course, Jim Harbaugh went on Colin Cowherd a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, don't be surprised if J.J. McCarthy goes QB1 in the NFL draft. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but what's your read on J.J. and this ascension that it seems like he is on right now?
And where's the fit for him?
Well, I really think the fit is in Minnesota, which I know is not what we want to hear as Lions fans. But I think the fit with Kevin O'Connell with that offense would be great for him. I think that they could position themselves to build up their offensive line a little bit. But the pass catchers there, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson when he comes back from injury, if they can figure out the ground game just a little bit, I think that would do wonders for JJ. And again, just surrounding him with those weapons. I think O'Connell would really enjoy having him. I've heard after this past weekend, I've heard that Minnesota was a team that was pretty high on him. Again, maybe that's one of the teams that has got him as QB2. Not necessarily sure. But I heard some very strong likings and linkings of that for JJ to Minnesota. But overall, I like JJ. I don't love his game, just simply because he doesn't throw with enough touch and he doesn't attack the middle of the field as much as I would like to see him do, because I think you can only go so far outside the numbers and in the short areas of the field as a quarterback. At times, you have to build off of play action and hit those dig routes. And that's something that we've seen Jared Goff do time and time again. And being in this offense with this scheme, it's really helped him attack the middle of the field. So I think JJ's going to have to find something similar just to be able to show that. But he fits throws in tight windows. He's a better athlete than given credit for. And you look at this player that's, 6'3", a sub-210 quarterback. Frame will come into question a little bit, but he's a good athlete. He's got good enough arm strength. He's a smart kid. He wins football games, and he carries himself so well. And I think that's going to win over a coaching staff and ultimately a locker room. So I'm excited for JJ, and I think, I would have to agree with the rumor that he's going to be a top 12 pick. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody traded up to get him.
Hey, Russell, one more quarterback question before we move on to the Lions and the back end of the draft.
Oh, no, I got one too.
Okay, and that's regarding Caleb Williams. So many people, just believe he's just a slam dunk, surefire thing. And then, I don't know if you saw the video of Merrill Hodge, who seems to be pegging these things left and right. Last year there's this video circulating about, I don't know, Bryce Young ain't it. It's C.J. Stroud. And this year he said he believes that Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Caleb Williams, and he would not draft Caleb Williams in the first round. What do you make of that, and where are you on Caleb Williams?
Yeah, look, everybody's got the right to their opinion. That's what makes this great. We all have different views and takes, and we all see the game through a different lens, and it's what makes it great. He could be right on that. I've been wrong on plenty of quarterbacks. I've been right on a couple of quarterbacks. So, it is what it is. But I like Caleb. I think he's got great playmaking ability. I think that's really what makes him special is the things that he's able to do off structure. Now, there are times that he commits to the off structure play before even letting the play develop, but I think that's more so a guy that hasn't had great offensive line help in front of him, and ultimately he's had, some NFL weapons around him, but, Brendan Rice is not his dad. Taj Washington is a nice piece, but, outside of Jordan Addison, he hasn't been playing with the greatest of talent. He hasn't been playing with the talent that Jaden Daniels has had, 2 potential first-round picks at wide receiver. So I think if you give Caleb the opportunity and maybe a little bit of a better offense and a little bit of a different scheme, I think he could do better with that, a little bit more commitment to the run. But the arm strength really pops off the tape. That's one big thing. I think with arm talent, accuracy, the athletic ability, it's all there. And my biggest thing is if I'm the Chicago Bears, I know what I'm getting out of Justin Fields. We've had a big enough sample size. He's 10 of 28 win and loss, and that's his record. What he is what he is at this point. Could he get better? Absolutely. I like Justin Fields coming out. But I think at the end of the day, Chicago's got to swing for the fences. They got to get it right at quarterback. And you don't want to be the team that potentially passes on a player like Caleb Williams, because if he turns into like a Patrick Mahomes 2.0, you become a laughing stock again.
All right. Well, how about the teams that are looking for a quarterback? You have the Bears at 1, Washington and New England. Those 3 teams need a quarterback. Then you skip down a little, and you have the Falcons at 8, the Bears again. You have the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, and they don't have a backup quarterback right now. Why not get a rookie in there? But Ryan kind of says they got a draft for this year. You got the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Saints there as well. How many quarterbacks are going in the first 15 picks? Who's going where, Russ?
Yeah, I would think it's 4 guys. We've talked about this before in the past, and we've seen quarterbacks just end up falling into the second and third round, so anything's possible. But I could see 4 guys ultimately. I think there's just too many quarterback-needy teams. I mean, you listed off a bunch there, and I think they all make sense for the need or the potential want for the position. I think Chicago will land on Caleb Williams at this point. I could see Washington go either way, Drake May or Jaden Daniels. I lean towards Jaden Daniels just simply because, scouting the helmet is a thing at times in the NFL, and with them having Sam Howell, do they want to go back to the well of North Carolina and guys having roots to Phil Longo's passing attack? Probably not. So I think Jaden Daniels just makes a lot of sense. He gets NFL weapons. I think it's a good transition for him. New England, I'm torn on. I could see them sitting a year just building this thing up, waiting for another quarterback, maybe a veteran. But ultimately, I think Drake May goes either at 3, maybe he falls a little bit to Atlanta, or a team like Denver moves up for him. I think Denver would make a lot of sense. And again, JJ with Minnesota, I think that makes a ton of sense. I also could see Las Vegas. I could see Antonio Pierce falling in love with JJ just with the way he carries himself. But Antonio Pierce also recruited Jaden Daniels at Arizona State. So that's worth something keeping tabs on with Las Vegas and a potential fit for Jaden Daniels. Maybe they find a way to get up there in the 3 or 4 spot, and maybe they're able to land him somehow. So I think ultimately we'll see 4 guys with JJ being the 3rd or 4th one off the board.
Russell is with us here today. Russell, of course, our good friend, always taking care of us at this time of the year. So we got to go to Russ Brown, NFL draft analyst. You check him out at Russ NFL Draft. Let's go to our beloved team here, the Lions. Lions obviously need a defensive lineman. They need a linebacker. They need an offensive lineman. They need a cornerback. I've read a name, Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. Cornerback, and if they stay at 29, of course, the draft here in Detroit, which would be real nice. What do you think the Lions do at 29? How do you think things fall for them, and who would you go with? By the way, the Senior Bowl coach, Terrell Williams, who used to coach for the Titans, is rumored to be here with the Lions, so that would kind of give them a little intel as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with one player, Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. I think he's a phenomenal fit for Detroit, and if he's there at 29, I don't want to say it's a sprint to the podium type of player, but I think he's definitely worth taking in the first round. You get the 5th-year option with him, and this is a young player. He's only 21 years of age. He's got 29 career starts, so you're not worrying about inexperience or anything like that. This guy played in the top-tier conference of college football in the SEC, and he's a physical defender that loves to initiate contact. He shows good press man ability. He's got experience in both man and zone coverage. He's got the experience and the comfort level of being in a cover 3 responsibility of a corner. So I think that's something that the Lions will take a favor into because they primarily run cover 1 and cover 3. And when you look at just the overall weaknesses of Kamari Lassiter, he needs to get his head around a little bit faster, and he's got to redirect his hips and change direction a little bit more fluidly. But I think he'd be a great fit alongside Cam Sutton, and the physicality is what I think the Lions will fall in love with. And again, it all depends on how these players interview. We all know that. It doesn't matter about a mock draft or anything like that. It matters how these guys interview. As we mentioned, Senior Bowl defensive line guys, I could see the Lions taking a liking to Darius Robinson. But again, is he going to be there? If he's truly shooting up draft boards like people say, I could see him being gone at 29. But if he's there, I think he makes a lot of sense. You get a local kid that's very versatile. He played in a very bad scheme, a 3-3-5 stack at Missouri, where he was asked to play head up on offensive tackles, which is fine. But when you play defensive end, you want to take half-man responsibility. You want to align on the outside shoulder of an offensive tackle. You want to play in that 5 technique or a 4-eye technique, take the inside shoulder. And he can do both of those things. And I think if you get him in that type of position, whether it be a 4-eye, a 6, doing those types of things, I think he can really benefit this team with the way he stops the run and his ability as a pass rusher. I mean, he might not be a 10 or 12 sack guy, but he can get you 6 or 7, maybe 8 sacks consistently due to his length and his power and his speed to power within his game. So I like both of those guys. The wild card that I'm going to throw out there for Lions fans, and his name hasn't been picked up necessarily yet, but his name is Gabriel Murphy out of UCLA. This kid was at the Shrine Bowl down in Dallas, and he tore it up. And at 6'3", 260, he had 8 sacks. He had 16 tackles for loss this year and 2 pass deflections. And he's a high motor type of guy that I think would complement Aiden Hutchinson perfectly. And again, an older player a little bit because he played at North Texas prior to UCLA, but he blew it up. He's got fast hands. He's somebody that's got some twitch. And again, the bend and the motor, I think the Lions are really going to take a liking to. And I could see this guy sneaking into the back end of the first round, or at least in the top 40 picks of this year's draft.
Hey, Russell, the Lions obviously have not had this late of a pick in the first round in a long time. And anytime they have had this late of a pick, they've jumped back into the first round. For instance, in 2004, jumped back into the first round, pick 30. Drafted Kevin Jones.
Oh,
how about
terrific.
Jumped back into the first round in 2010. Pick number 30, Javid Best.
Yes.
running back.
He would have been great.
Jumped back into the first round in 2015.
Yes.
Laken Tomlinson at 28.
Laken.
I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. Do you believe, Russell, that for Brad Holmes, it simply is absolutely best player available, or do you, because you're so close to a championship, do you start picking for need a little bit?
I could see him start picking for need a little bit. We all see how Brad operates every offseason, and he's going to get aggressive. If they have a guy that is their fifth or sixth best player on the board, or their top player on the board, and he's available at, let's say, pick 20, he has no problem being aggressive and getting up there and trying to make it happen. If that means giving up a future asset to potentially win now and to potentially win down the road even more, they're going to do that. I see them staying put at potentially pick 29, but I could see them moving pick 73 or and 92, or pick 73 and 163 to move up into the second round. But ultimately, I could see them just keeping the picks that they have, maybe getting a little active on day 3. It's a wild card at this point, just because we haven't seen free agency, and I kind of want to see what they do in that regard. Are they bringing guys in on these valuable 3-year deals like they did with Cam Sutton, or are they bringing in a lot of 1-year guys? So we'll kind of see what they do there, and I think we'll have a better understanding of what their potential draft plans will be.
Hey, Russ, a guy in the chat wants me to ask you about T.J. Tampa, cornerback from Iowa State.
Yeah, I recently watched him. I'm glad he asked about him. I like TJ Tampa. I do. I don't like him as much as I thought I was going to like him, if I'm going to be honest with the audience. I thought he was somebody that did not tackle very well. He kind of had the same problems that Kalen King out of Penn State, who's a Detroit native. Same type of deal. Both players just struggle to tackle, and with the Lions looking for players that want to come up into run support, I just don't know if they'll take a liking to that. I will say TJ Tampa, very fluid hips. He does show the ability to change direction. He looks pretty comfortable dropping into quarters coverage, and relatively efficient and fluid in man coverage. But again, the tackling is the biggest thing that just worries me. And if you can't tackle on the perimeter, it's hard for me to value you very high as a corner in this draft or in any draft, because you need to have those guys on the perimeter able to do that at least consistently. And I don't think Tampa, at least through the 2 games that I've watched in the last, honestly, 48 hours, I don't think he's done enough in that regard for me.
Cool, man. Thanks for answering that.
Good stuff, Russell.
Yeah, no problem.
We can't thank you enough, buddy, for your time. Hope to talk to you again more than once.
Oh, we will.
Leading up to the draft. It's an exciting time. 69 days until the city of Detroit gets its chance to shine. Thanks so much, Russell.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
See you,
You
Russ.
got it. You can follow Russell on X at Russ NFL Draft, also at Fantasy Pros, and at The Lions Wire. We thank him for that. We're going to take a break. Come right back. I do want to talk about Lions first round history a little bit.
Do we have to?
If I could.
How about second round?
Yeah, first round history a little bit, and then I want to do a little fill in the blank. We'll talk to Dr. Pierce. Lots to get to. But first, a message from
Swiss. That's right. We're in the middle of winter, and right now is the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. As for market Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com or call 248-800-4177.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on homestyle goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Also, while you're doing that, while you got that phone in your hand, give Les Stanford a call. Les Stanford, Buick, GMC, Chevrolet, Cadillac. That's right. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale with Les Stanford, Buick, GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know. Located on Woodward in Ferndale, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want. All GM brands under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive.
Together, let's drive. Woodward Sports Network on a Friday. Ryan Ermanni, Tom Mazaway, Braylon Edwards out today. Pete Spivak, the great Jeremy Bryant, is along as well. We'll have Dr. Pierce coming up in just a little bit. But first, I wanted to point this out to you. Lions have the 29th pick in the first round. And if you want to know why people around here are a little gun shy, when you pick that late in the draft, you ready for this?
Here we go.
Since 2000,
oh God,
the Lions have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks. Pick 20 or later in the first round. You ready for some of these names?
I can't wait.
In 2000, with pick 20, Stocker McDougal.
Oh.
In 2004, pick 30, Kevin Jones.
Ugh.
In 2009, pick 20, Brandon Pettigrew. In 2010, pick 30, Javid Best. In 2000,
could have been something.
In 2012, pick number 23, Riley Reif. In 2015, pick number 28, Laken Tomlinson. In 2017, pick 21, Jared Davis. In 2018, pick 20, Frank Ragnow.
Yeah.
So 1 for 7. 1 for 8.
Now, after Jared Davis, they picked the other guy from Florida, the following pick.
Tease Tabor?
Tease Tabor. That was the worst 1-2 punch you could ever deliver.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. And you can go back to when they were drafting long snappers.
Right.
I mean, it's been so horrible.
Bad. Oh,
it's been horrible. But you know what? It's not that anymore.
No, it's
not that. We have been born again.
Absolutely. You want to play a little fill in the blank?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let's do a little fill in the blank. Here we go. A little fill in the blank Friday.
Is JB gonna play?
Can you read these?
Yeah.
Do you have a?
Yeah,
can
I got
you read
it.
these
Can
things?
JB and
absolutely
Pete play?
Love that.
All right, here we go, guys. Let's start it off. The NFL playoff team that will take a step forward next season will be blank. NFL playoff team that will take a step forward, Ryan, is who?
I'm going to say the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I think the Houston Texans are a team that has the ability to get to an AFC championship game next year. That's how much I think of the Texans.
Okay.
Yep.
JB, which NFL playoff team from last season will take another step forward this year?
I have to second Ryan on this one. I really like the Houston Texans. The quarterback play with C.J. Stroud. Tank Dell is obviously coming along well. He's getting over this injury right now. He was just seen at a baseball game throwing out a first pitch, and he seems like he's recovering like quicker than normal because I believe his injury usually takes anywhere from 6 to 8 months. So, yeah, I definitely think Houston will be in the spotlight next season for sure.
How about you, Lucky Pierre?
Well, I'm going to say the Miami Dolphins. I think that if they start drafting a little bit more defense, they got a solid offense. I mean, one of the fastest teams, if not the fastest team in the NFL. I think it's going to be Miami taking that next step if they draft correctly.
I think this is a slam dunk. It's the Packers, of course. The Green Bay Packers will win a playoff game next year.
They won one this year.
They did win. They killed Dallas last year. That's right. They will win another playoff game, maybe 2. So we'll see how the Packers. I got Packers and Lions in the NFC Championship.
There you go.
If that happens. Here we go. The NFL playoff team that will not make the playoffs next season will be who? Ryan, you go again.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Damn it.
Yeah. Pittsburgh. It was
we always pick the Steelers.
Miraculous. I mean, miraculous.
You're right.
What they did this year.
JB?
Give me the Buffalo Bills on this one. That window has closed for them, and honestly, I don't think it's going to reopen for a very, very long time. So, Bills are out for me.
Go ahead, Pete. You're up.
I'm going to say the Cleveland Browns. I think that the division they're in is extremely tough. I think that Nick Chubb coming back from an ACL and MCL tear is going to be very difficult to recover from. I'm going to say the Browns on this one, boys.
That's out of the question, Pete. Out of the question.
That's my opinion.
The Browns was my second team, by the way.
Out?
Yeah, out.
Thank you.
No way.
Yeah.
The Browns and the Lions are going to be doing some damage next year.
Yep.
I've got the Steelers, so that was pretty simple. How about the team that didn't make the playoffs this year? This team will make the playoffs, so fill in that blank.
Easy. The LA Chargers.
Oh, nice.
The LA Chargers.
Nicely done.
Yep.
Nicely done.
The LA Chargers.
The Harbs
baby.
effect, huh?
The Harbs is going to have that thing humming by week 5.
JB,
Damn
team
right.
that did not make the playoffs last year will make it this year.
Ryan, spot on. I got to go with the Chargers as well, too. They didn't make it, but with Harbaugh's help, yeah, that's a lot.
Go ahead, Pete. You're up.
The Jacksonville Jaguars. They have the quarterback, they have the offense, and I think that their defense is going to be pretty solid. That's where they should be going in the draft. I say the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This one's
Garbage.
Easy. This one's easy. It's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Come on, my Super Bowl pick for last year. Who knew that Joe Burrow
That's a good one.
would not have been in that for
That's
that
a good
game?
one.
It's the Bengals, and that's a slam dunk. Your 2026 early Super Bowl prediction will be blank versus blank. I'm going to let JB go first this time.
Oh, this one's easy. Lions versus Chiefs.
Okay.
Super Bowl is happening.
Pete?
Lions versus Dolphins. That's what I think is going to happen.
Us. Go ahead, Ryan.
Lions versus Chargers.
You go from the outhouse to the penthouse in 1 year?
Yeah.
1 year?
Yeah, that's all it's going to take.
It's Lions and Bengals.
Guy don't know how to lose.
It's Lions and Bengals next season. Lions and Bengals. Here we go. The Tigers will blank the AL Central this season.
Contend for. I'm not going to say win it. They will contend for. They are very young. Very young. Contend for.
JB, the Tigers will blank the AL Central.
I'm going to go with win. If everything you guys are saying is true, the ALC Central is very weak this year, so this should be a very big opportunity for the Tigers to step up and play. As Ryan said, they are young, energetic guys out there, so give me the Tigers and win it all.
Prickly Pete?
I'm going to say contend. Agree with Ryan on that one. It's the Minnesota Twins I constantly worry about in the AL Central. They are a solid team. I think that the Tigers are very young. I think they finish second. Hopefully they will win, but I say second place for them.
I said it yesterday. The Tigers were 35-17 against the Central last year. They just got destroyed against the AL East. This year they're going to be much better than they were last year. I am depending on a couple of those young arms. The Tigers will win that division with 86 wins. There you go. The Red Wings will blank down the stretch.
Oof, this is
The
a
Red
tough
Wings
one.
will blank down the stretch. They've lost 2 in a row
And they're
on the road.
only 2 points up on New Jersey for the last wild card spot.
Ooh, the Devils are on there on the case.
I initially was going to say falter, but I'm going to say hang on. Hang on down the stretch.
Hang on. So a playoff team.
Yeah, hang on.
JB.
I think the Wings will pull it together down the stretch. They definitely have to rely on each other to get these last couple wins. As Ryan said, they're 2 games behind, so you got to step it up, and hopefully they can.
Pete, how about you?
I think the Red Wings will solidify their position in the playoffs down the stretch and be a very solid team and get ready to take that next step under number 19.
I'm going to second that what Pete said. They will solidify their position. I even think they will move up a spot and not have to face the Bruins or a team like that in the round. Here we go. Caitlin Clark is a top blank shooter you've ever seen. Caitlin Clark is the top blank shooter you've ever seen. I'll go first. Second best shooter of all time behind Steph Curry.
I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say Larry Bird for me, Steph Curry, and then Caitlin Clark. I mean, they're just shooters.
Yeah.
You know, just
Just
people
pure
just,
shooters.
Just shoot.
Pure.
Yeah.
JB,
but
what do you got, Caitlin?
that's the company she's in.
Absolutely.
That's the company she's
Larry
in.
Bird is pretty damn good, man.
Caitlin Clark is a top Detroit Pistons shooter ever. If she can come to the Pistons, that would be a lot of help. But she's definitely, I'll go top 10. I'm not going to go as far as top 5 or top 3, but I'll give her top 10.
And Pete?
I say that she's a top 5 shooter, definitely behind Larry Bird and good old Pistol Pete Maravich. And I don't underestimate Michael Jordan shooting from the outside back in the day either. So I think she's definitely top 5.
Good enough,
All right,
man.
final question.
Final question. Here it is. The Pistons blank. Never mind. It's the Pistons.
Yeah, never mind.
Let's just skip that one. The Pistons. Good luck, guys.
We will
8-46 at the break.
We will take a break. Dr. Jeff Pierce in the house next. Our WSN Injury Insider. We'll have a conversation with him. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Tom Mazaway.
What do we got? Big Boy? Here it is. Comfort foods from Big Boy is always the best way to spend your winter going into the spring season. Start your day off with a great breakfast. You know it. It's the stuffed potato pancakes. Those omelets are awesome. The lumberjack and Santa Fe omelet and the apple pie hot cakes are too good to pass up. Have a little lunch or dinner. Of course, they got the best slider. I guess the best big boys in town. The Slim Jim, of course. The veal parmesan. You want to get that right now. And the Southern Comfort chicken bowl and save room for dessert. The best shakes in town are at your local Big Boy.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort chicken bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Jack Labrador. Check them out online right now at jacklabrador.gg. They will walk you through this game, how you play it. It's a new way to play rock, paper, scissors. If you're still playing that game, you're missing out on this. You want to get the Champions deck, you want to get it at jacklabrador.gg. Play it with your friends. Only $20 to get this. Make sure you tell them Woodward Sports sent you. It's like a new way to play rock, paper, scissors. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. 3 other games you could play in this. It is awesome. The Motor City Showdown, Spell My Name, Pink Slip, and a lot more. 2 players or more. Time to play it, 15 minutes. Or you can make it as long as you want. Check them out right now at jacklabrador.gg.
Hey, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. And again, thanks for everybody bearing with me on my voice today. I'm doing the best I can. I just feel like I don't have any excitement in the voice today.
You're doing good. It's not like we're talking about the Super Bowl or anything.
Do you fix voices, Dr. Pierce? Do you have any?
With my Doc Rock, we do. They call me in for voice.
Right, exactly.
I get the little light on my phone, look down your throat, and say, we'll put a little steroids in there.
Right,
All right.
Exactly. Our WSN injury insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here for our weekly chat. And Dr. Pierce, I'm watching the Super Bowl on Sunday. Dre Greenlaw trying to run out on the field and drops, and I immediately thought of you. Now every time I see an injury, I think of you, by the way.
There's a picture where you see
I love the love.
You see the Achilles actually rock in his leg.
And again, our computer system's all jacked right now, or we'd show you the video. But what did you make of that when you saw it? And what's that poor guy? How does that even happen?
I found out after that it's been bothering him for a couple of weeks, if not months. So, like we always talked about, getting ready, being ready, suffering to the end, or putting Band-Aids on things, putting the secret cocktail, and it backfired on him. I mean, did he get the right treatment? I mean, it doesn't just happen. You see the movement. I mean, they got great TV for it. He didn't do anything but be excited to go get on the field. It's not like he twisted. It was a really non-contact.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but it's not like it was healthy. It didn't tear because it was healthy, is the point with that kind of injury. There was probably stuff he could have done rehabbing-wise, but the trainers and everybody in the room probably said, we got one more game. We're going to get you going. He's mental. I don't want to tell the trainer. It could be I didn't want to tell the trainer how bad it was because I want to play. Nobody's going to pull me out. So all those ideas were probably going through everybody's head, and just an unfortunate event. I mean, there wasn't much to it either.
Right.
And,
you saw his 49er teammates. They got depressed. They lost it. Fred Warner was beside himself. They were coming up to him. That's his partner on the linebacking core, and they're patting him on the back, and the guys praying for him. That could have cost them the game.
I mean, when you really look at the stats and the impact he has, he was a difference maker. When you really look at his impact in the game, where it is, he covers the middle, the middle of that field, and it became wide open after he got hurt. And the running game too. It's just like you say. I tell you, 80% of a really good player is better than some of the others. Losing a guy like that, and next man up in a 5-minute, it made the difference. Could have made the difference. Yeah, I mean, San Francisco can argue, but that's the game. That's what we play. That's why the docs are so important. That's why the trainers are so important. You want them healthy.
What's that guy looking like now? Like, what's that recovery look like? As I always hear, like, the Achilles is way worse than the ACL.
Now, because the reason is ACLs were so much more common. So there's a lot more science behind it. Where Achilles, it's coming up. I mean, I remember when Larionov tore his, and we were dealing with it here with the Red Wings. It was like a jagged repair, and just the science from when I was dealing with the Red Wings to now. I mean, you're looking at Aaron Rodgers, you're looking at Cousins, now you're looking at Greenlaw. I mean, it's just weird injuries. We got the training staff, and it'll probably be one of the classes for the trainers and the doctors in mid-season, before the season. We need to start paying attention to this. And we did it with sports hernias. I don't know if you remember with the Red Wings. Sports hernias, all of a sudden everybody's getting a sports hernia.
Yeah.
Nobody heard about it.
What is that for people out there that might not know what that is? And the everyday average person can get a sports hernia too, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of young athletes that get sports hernias that mimic inguinal hernias. Inguinal hernias is more the traditional one where it's, turn your head and cough type of thing. Where the sports hernia is if you have it, remember your 8-pack?
Oh, yeah.
So from the belly button down to your pubic bone, There's like, we'll call it like sheets of
Still
layers.
got one over here, Dr. Pierce. Still got that 8-pack right there.
I'm
baby.
sure.
I got a keg.
I just don't want to show it off to you on camera. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
It's called the cushion effect. But yeah, it's like one of the layers, one of the sheets that takes care, like from the belly button down to the pubic area. That sheet will tear and create an inconsistency with the abdominal muscles and things like that, the inguinal. So I was involved with the Red Wings when a lot, like Draper had it, Malpe. I mean, we had a lot of guys, and back then it was a famous woman in Germany that was doing it. Some of the guys were going overseas, and then a big person in Philadelphia, and now we do it here. So it's just like getting back to your question. The Achilles is becoming more common, so we're spending more time scientifically. How do we do it? Repair. Like Aaron Rodgers did the latest and greatest repair with the push-pull effect. So we're looking at him at his age trying to recover a lot quicker. Greenlaw, I know he got repaired yesterday. I don't know exactly. They didn't announce what repair it was. I think it's going to be probably a hybrid of the two. And are you asking me, is he going to be playing by game 1? I mean, how many months do we have? 6 months? No, wait.
Yeah, about 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, not even.
So
9 months.
Well, August.
Well, September. 8 months. Nobody can do math.
Can
around
someone
here.
do the math right now for us? Pull out a calendar.
7 months. 7 months.
Pull out a
I was
calendar.
doing training camp.
7 months.
I was doing
All
training.
right. So basically, he needs no less than 6 months for recovery. You know, like Aaron Rodgers and Cousins, we're pushing. We're going to do 3-4 months, but it really didn't happen. I think it was a little bit of a hype, and he likes to stay relevant. I think that was the big thing with Greenlaw. I think he's a full 6 months, and the guy, he'll be back. His mental instinct and his, the way he pursues it is going to be the key. He'll be playing next year.
All right, stay with Aaron Rodgers for me. Okay, stay
We
with
all
Aaron
love
Rodgers
him, don't
for
we?
me. Pardon?
We all love him.
We do. I like him very much. He's playing for the Jets. I want to see him play again. I don't want to see him end his career like it did.
No, that was
I want to see him come back. What are his odds for a re-injury of that Achilles?
So there's two ways to look at it.
He's had a whole year.
Pardon me?
He's had a whole year off.
He's had a whole year off. He's rehabbing. He's paying attention to it. He's doing his voodoo magic out in the woods. I think he does fine. I think he does just fine through the year. Will he be a step off? Yeah, but he's always been like a step off. He's not he's got more instinct than he has speed, right? So I think his instinct, his football instinct, is going to, get him through. I mean, the guy's smart as can be. He's playing at a different level because of his knowledge. Will he rehab? Yeah, I think he's going to come back stronger because of his ego and his competitiveness. He's coming back stronger than ever.
How about his other leg? Because we saw with Emmanuel Mosley this year. He goes out, ACL, comes
I'm
back.
not ready for these questions.
Comes back, 2 plays, and he's done. His other leg goes out.
Yeah,
So can that happen with an Achilles?
Yes. Can it happen? 100%. Will it happen? Hopefully they're taking all the precautions to do it. We underestimate the flexibility of the body. These guys so overpower. At some point, something's got to give, and a lot of times it's those ligaments. The Achilles, they don't have the elasticity like they used to. Is he healthier? He's supposed to be doing things where he's healthier than the majority of the players out there. For what he's doing, I would hate to see that happen. I would hate, like I said, I think you're getting a lot of attention on Achilles injuries right now. I think a lot of guys are going to pay attention to, it happened to him, it could happen to me. I'll do those silly exercises, those dynamic warm-ups, all that silly stuff that feels stupid, but it's going to save my career.
What are people walking into the office with right now?
Everything. I mean, look, our office, we're called Michigan Sports and Spine for a reason. We see a lot of spine injuries, a lot of neck. We're seeing the auto accidents where, whiplash injuries, things like that. We have a very good system for the treatment of it. As far as sports injuries, like we talked about last week, you're seeing a lot of the weekend warriors coming out, especially with football in Detroit going a little bit further. I think sports has been a little bit more motivating. A lot of weekend hockey guys, just tight situations. We've seen some young athletes. We talked about our swimmers, our pom-poms. You're getting into the end of the year competitions. Like right now, hockey's big. We'll see a lot more hockey injuries going forward.
What's a big time hockey injury?
upper body injury.
Yeah, right.
It's an upper body or a lower body.
Right.
You know, my quad strain, hamstring strains, things like that. I mean, we get a lot of people. I think hockey's gotten better, but the beer leagues, you're still getting the hits in the back, the whiplash, the low back injury. I got caught right in the middle of my back. You know, middle spine injuries are very rare unless they're trauma. So that stick to the back by, going into the corners is, an unusual but not an unusual injury with hockey. But I mean, our big thing is spine. We're seeing a lot of low back. Everybody's got low back issues. But like I was alluding to, not that I want to have less patience, but we'd rather be more proactive for people. Don't underestimate flexibility. Like we're talking about Greenland. I guarantee if you measured his Achilles tendons, the side he got torn on, there was definitely a difference in his flexibility with it. So for all the viewers and things like, you could save yourself a lot with, proper coordination, proper warm-up, dynamic. You can't run in and just go do it anymore. At a certain age, which is past 18, you need to have some type of warm-up. Every decade, you got to add another 10 minutes to your warm-up.
You should see me warming up for bowling on Thursday night.
Bowling is the number one worst sport.
It's the toughest sport.
What is your routine?
It's the same. Everyone, we're just stretching. You pick up a ball, and you haven't really done that motion in a week.
Yeah. And
you go and try to do it in the first. You have 15 minutes of warm-ups, and there's 10 guys on a lane. So you got to take your time. You're stiff. You're bending your back, your knees, your foot. Anything could go when you're warming up for bowling. I mean it.
Doc,
I know you don't want to laugh at
bowling
it.
situation.
Tell me,
Doc. I think what you're saying is true.
You are laughing.
But I'm getting the visual now of you stretching
it's
and bowling.
Everyone.
I want to hear from Doc about this bowling situation.
We all look at each other. We're like, this is the worst sport.
First of all, why are you all looking at each other while you're bending over? I'm confused here.
Yeah, Tom.
Whatever. But tell me that's not an injury
bowling is
sport.
actually the number one worst sport for low back injuries. Because think about it. You're doing a rotational movement with a weight on the end, which will just pull you even further.
Yep.
So it is one of the worst sports for low back injuries.
You used to see Pete bowl with his one finger in the ball and the way he spins it.
The high spin rate?
Yeah, he's a high spinner.
I throw a no thumb hook, Doc.
Ryan's just mad because he's never gotten a turkey.
Oh,
in
my
bowling.
gosh. I got a turkey before.
You
No,
did?
I got two before. 2 in a row.
That's a double.
That's a double.
That's a double.
I got it. Are you a bowler, Doc?
I actually, growing up, was a big bowler.
There you go.
I won a lot of awards.
There you go, Doc.
Yeah, that was my 9 to 14 years old. I'm
trying to put a league together here. You want to be part of the Woodward Sports
I have a
team?
back issue.
Okay, there you go.
Hey,
Always
Doc, let
bailing
me take you back to something you said. You mentioned swimmers. What are swimmers? What are their
shoulders?
Swimmers coming in with shoulders?
Yeah, actually, I just left my son at his school. His Cranbrook's number one in the state right now.
Look at that.
But a lot of shoulder injuries, a lot of back, a lot of flips, things like that.
Oh, God.
The flip turns, they're and the rotational. A lot of people think swimming's okay, but if you're doing that rotation like a true log roll, I tell people to swim for recovery. But if you do it wrong, you're putting more torque on your spine. If you don't your neck, if you don't know how to roll, you're creating that moment each time. So swimming, yeah, you would think there's less injuries. There truly is. It's not high, but once in a while, these high level, they compete at such a high level, and now you're getting muscle imbalance. Now, I don't know if we've even talked about muscle imbalance, but I got these swimmers that are just so powerful up above, and their midsection becomes weaker, so their back becomes even worse. So if they have a simple injury, it gets magnified because their legs are so powerful and their upper body is so powerful. Your waist, is naturally the weakest part of your body. So now you take two big, heavier weights, and now you're putting more stress on that midsection. It's we call muscle imbalance. So then people are like, well, I'll just stop working out. No, you got to do the hard exercises, the hard core stuff, which again, I talk about the belly button to the pubic bone, which is right above your privates. That's where all your strength has to be really core strength.
Let me ask you about baseball for a second, because we're getting to, over the next couple of weeks, a bunch of little leaguers will be out there. Do you see young kids? Do young kids, what age, I guess, what age of athlete would come in with an injury? Is it a high school kid? Is it a little league kid? What what kinds of injuries? Because there's a lot of people out there that are going to be picking up that baseball for the first time in 6 months, potentially, trying to throw that thing as hard as they can to impress their coach.
Right, and I blame the coaches. The coaches have become much more educated, but I think your question is, what is the age group? I'll see 8-year-olds.
Everybody, yeah.
I'll see because we're playing around. They're playing year round now. They're throwing. They're not resting. They're not playing the other sports. Right. I hate it. I really don't like it. I get it. It's so competitive, and everybody's got a trainer, and they got a batting coach, and they got a throwing coach. All that. I mean, I get it. It's competitive. But you're ruining. I see a lot of shoulder injuries. It's the kid who you say, the catcher that also pitches. He's the most at risk. It's all about reputation. Repetition. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. But you got to stick to the numbers. I mean, you're always putting that kid, and at that age, everybody's developing at a different. A 9-year-old may not look. He could look like a 12-year-old. 12-year-old could look like a 16-year-old. I mean, the way they develop is also the way their muscles develop. And there's a huge thing when you have your growth spurt, your body's growing, but your ligaments and your muscles have to catch up. So if you're doing elite sport during that phase of growth, you're putting too much stress on those young little ligaments that have not matured. When you're 16, 18, and hit puberty, you got hair growth, all that, you should be okay, but then you just have to worry straight about how many reps you're doing.
We talk about this a lot, and you just kind of led me down this path. How detrimental is it to a young athlete to just specifically play one sport and not several sports? How damaging is that to any particular muscle?
I don't like the word using damaging. You have to be smart about it. You can't be overdeveloped. You have to have muscle balance. You have to have a good trainer, a good coach that recognizes it. The coaches, a lot of coaches today take a few kids and just overwork them, right? And they can ruin their futures with that. Some kids are smart enough, parents are smart enough, they see a doctor, they listen to something like this, and we need to be smarter about muscle balance. One is the enjoyment. I mean, I'm old enough. I think you guys are not that. You're younger than me, but we still played all day long every sport, and we excelled at certain ones. And then certain ones, I really loved and I played more. Like I talked to George Gervin. What did you do growing up? I played every sport, Doc, but basketball I just loved, and I kept shooting and shooting and shooting. And you develop that way. Where here you're like, I want to be a hockey player. Well, you necessarily, that wasn't your best sport that you're playing, but now you're pushing that. So there's that issue too. I think enjoy the sports as long as you can. Now the age group is like, you need to be serious by the age of 14. Things like that, where you just hit puberty, you're starting to develop, and is that the cutoff? Before it's 18, let them do whatever they want till they're 18. So I think the competition in society is pushing it to younger and younger ages, right? You got kids being looked at for tennis at age 10. You got kids playing lacrosse, females of lacrosse being looked at 12, 13 years old. So now the parents well, this is a scholarship, this is involved. You just need to focus. So you're not going to do swimming this year. You're not playing football this year. I'm guilty of it too. Well, I didn't want my son to play football, but he's like lacrosse. I wanted to play basketball lacrosse. He's going to be mad I'm saying this. And he chose, I need to put 20 pounds of weight on to go against these other guys, so I'm not playing basketball. I'm going to stay in the weight room all winter. And it, unfortunately, he put on like 10, 15 pounds. But those are the real decisions. We can say whatever we want, but, when someone says, hey, your kid's got real potential, pay me, what is it, $25,000 a year to be on our team, you're now vested. You're now, your mental state isn't like, oh, go to the playground and throw the football around with your buddies. It's like, don't go there. You might get hurt. Your sport is your sport. Baseball. I'm rambling.
No, you're good. I think that's
Very
riveting conversation because I think
get on my box.
I think youth sports in particular has become such big business that
That's all
we
it is.
do that at the detriment of the kid. And I'm just curious, in your medical opinion, when you are a 12-year-old or 13-year-old who now went from playing 4 sports to 1 sport, what happens by the time you're 16, 17 years old if you are more prone to injury, serious injury at that time?
Well, I think they've gotten more sophisticated, right? If you are going to be, like, my son's got a friend who's like top 5 hockey players in the country right now. And he played a lot of sports, and he just whittled it down to, I'm hockey only. But that kid's number 5 in the country. There's others, his friends that are swimmers. My son is a lacrosse player. It's an investment, right? So if you're travel hockey, which I feel a lot of those kids, you're now vested with bringing the whole family to that trip. You're vested to pay for the league itself. You're vested for the weekend travel. I mean, you want him to do well. Now you're bought in. My kid's the next. And then the prospects. Like my son right now is in the prospects for lacrosse, for college. I mean, I get probably...
That's a tougher sport than football these days.
I think...
Injury-wise.
I screwed up. I let him
I won't let him play football, but I'll let him play lacrosse.
They have a weapon in their hand. And if you're the best
and you're not
kid,
wearing any equipment, hardly.
No, and they wear it as a badge of honor not to wear the equipment.
Oh, my
I'm
gosh.
like, they're forced to wear a helmet, but shoulder... I mean, I've never seen somebody well-trained kids.
That's a beat-down sport.
It's a beat-down. It's fun. I got to admit, it's fun, though.
Well, Dr. Pierce, we're up against it. Thanks so much for your
Great
time.
job.
We'll see you next week.
Perfect.
Actually, I won't see you next week. I'm going to be at Disney World.
I'll see you next week.
We're doing a show from Disney next
Hey, let's go. Come on. I'll call in. Check out Dr. Pierce.
Call in from
the
Splash
Michigan
Mountain.
Sports and Spine Center on Middle Belt and Livonia, MichiganSportsandSpine.com.
Tigers next week, Doc.
Tom
All right,
Mazaway.
Tigers, fine.
Tigers.
Tom Mazaway, happy birthday to you.
Thanks, buddy.
Today?
Sunday.
Sunday.
All right.
Tom Mazaway's birthday. And would you like to tell the people goodbye?
Sure.
Okay.
Dr. Pierce, thank you for coming in.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate Russell Brown joining us today. JB and Pete, thanks for a great week. Even though with all this equipment that we got, we'll get it right. No sweat. Ryan, have a great vacation.
Oh, thanks, man.
Gonna miss you, man. No question about it.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see you when you
I'll
get
be
back.
in a couple of weeks.
Braylon,
hopefully
we'll see you
with a voice.
See you next week for
Couple
your
weeks.
birthday.
Well, 2 weeks. Well, not next week, but the week after.
Hey, guys, thanks for watching us, and thanks for participating every day. Phone calls every
I
day
got to
from
get
now
a new
on.
mortgage for that
Let's
Disney.
get going here.
I mean, that Disney's.
Have a great
Damn.
weekend, everybody, and thanks for watching Woodward Sports Network.